August 1945, a moment frozen in time, when humanity unleashed a force so powerful it brought the world to its knees. In the midst of the Second World War, a clandestine project was underway. Buried deep within the heart of America, brilliant minds were pooling their collective genius into a singular, daunting task. This was the birth of the Manhattan Project, a scientific endeavor of unprecedented scale and ambition. The goal: to harness the destructive power of the atom itself. Picture a group of scientists, their brows furrowed in concentration, laboring day and night under a cloak of utmost secrecy. Their mission, driven by the dread of a world at war, was to create a weapon unlike any the world had ever seen before, a weapon that could end all wars. The atomic bomb was not merely a weapon, it was a testament to the terrifying potential of human ingenuity. Built upon the foundations of groundbreaking scientific discoveries, it represented a leap into the unknown, a daring venture into uncharted territories of power and devastation. But the development of the atomic bomb was not just about scientific achievement. It was also a race against time, a desperate bid to outpace a world hurtling towards destruction. The stakes were unimaginably high. The power they were tapping into was colossal, dwarfing anything mankind had previously conceived. And so, under the watchful eyes of the world's greatest minds, the atomic bomb took shape, an instrument of annihilation, poised to unleash a force so cataclysmic, so world-shattering, that it would forever alter the course of human history. The atomic bomb was not a mere tool of warfare, but a symbol of an era dominated by unprecedented scientific advancement and the looming specter of total war. It was a time of fear, of hope, of desperate leaps into the unknown. The atomic bomb was the embodiment of all these conflicting emotions, a testament to the extremes to which humanity would go in the name of survival. And thus, the stage was set for an event that would forever change the face of warfare. On a seemingly ordinary morning, the city of Hiroshima would witness a horror unlike any other. It was the 6th of August, 1945, a day etched in the annals of history, painted with the grim hues of destruction and despair. The sun had barely risen when an American B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay, soared across the serene sky. It carried within its belly a secret, a monstrous creation named Little Boy. The clock struck 8:15, and Little Boy was no longer a secret. Unleashed from the aircraft, it plummeted towards the unsuspecting city below. For a brief moment there was a blinding light, brighter than 1,000 suns, followed by an earth-shattering roar that echoed across the city. Hiroshima, a lively city bustling with life, was caught in the grip of a force so devastating that it defied comprehension. Buildings crumbled like sandcastles, trees were ripped from their roots, and fires raged across the city, consuming all in their path. The immediate impact was catastrophic, reducing a vibrant city to a desolate wasteland within seconds. The human toll was equally staggering. Tens of thousands perished instantly, their lives snuffed out in the blink of an eye. Many more were left injured, their bodies bearing the gruesome evidence of the nuclear inferno. The air was heavy with the stench of burnt flesh and the screams of the wounded, painting a haunting picture of the cost of war. Yet the true horror of Little Boy lay not just in the immediate destruction it caused. It was a Pandora's box that, once opened, unleashed a slew of horrors that lingered long after the smoke had cleared. The city was left a radioactive wasteland, its survivors destined to bear the brunt of the bomb's lethal legacy. In an instant, a bustling city was reduced to ruins, but the world had yet to see the full extent of this new weapon's terror. This was just the beginning of the atomic age, an era that would forever change the course of human history. Just when the world was reeling from the shock of Hiroshima, another nightmare unfolded in Nagasaki. 3 days after the horrific events at Hiroshima, on August 9, 1945, the second atomic bomb named Fat Man was dropped on Nagasaki. Unlike its predecessor, Little Boy, which was uranium-based, Fat Man was a plutonium-based bomb, reflecting a different design. The two bombs were like night and day, yet their devastating effects were eerily similar. The morning of August 9th was not like any other in Nagasaki. As the bomb was dropped, it detonated about 500 meters above the city. Its impact was instant and catastrophic. The city was enveloped in a blinding light, followed by a wave of heat that incinerated everything in its path. Then came the shockwave, obliterating buildings and claiming lives. Comparatively, Hiroshima and Nagasaki experienced different magnitudes of devastation. Hiroshima, being a flat plain, saw a more widespread destruction, while Nagasaki, nestled between valleys, experienced a somewhat contained blast. Yet the damage was no less severe, with about 40% of the city destroyed and tens of thousands of lives lost in an instant. In both cities, the aftermath was a scene from a nightmare. Survivors, or hibakusha as they are known in Japan, were left to navigate through a landscape of destruction. Their lives changed forever. Many faced radiation sickness, with symptoms ranging from nausea and vomiting to hair loss and burns. But why Nagasaki? Why was a second bomb necessary? These are questions that have been debated by historians and scholars for decades. Some argue it was to hasten Japan's surrender. Others suggest it was a display of power to the Soviet Union. The truth may be somewhere in between, but one thing is certain: it marked a turning point in human history, ushering in the nuclear age. With Nagasaki's destruction, the true horror of atomic warfare was laid bare for all to witness. It was a stark reminder of the destructive power of nuclear weapons, a reminder that continues to resonate in our collective conscience today. In the wake of the bombings, the world stood in shocked silence, trying to comprehend the scale of the devastation. The immediate aftermath was a scene of unimaginable destruction. Both Hiroshima and Nagasaki were leveled, their once bustling cityscapes reduced to rubble and ash. But the impact was far from over. The bombings had unleashed a force that continued to wreak havoc long after the initial blasts. The radiation left in the wake of the explosions had unseen, yet deadly effects. Survivors, known as hibakusha, faced not only the trauma of the event, but also the long-term health effects, including cancer and other radiation-induced illnesses. While the cities and their people struggled to recover, the world stage was shifting. Japan, faced with the overwhelming power of these new weapons, announced its surrender just days after the bombing of Nagasaki. This marked the end of World War II, but also the beginning of a new era. The bombings had demonstrated the devastating power of nuclear weapons, forever changing the face of warfare. Nations across the globe raced to develop their own nuclear arsenals, igniting a new kind of conflict, the Cold War. The balance of power had shifted, and the world lived in the shadow of the mushroom cloud. Yet amidst the destruction and fear, there were also stories of resilience and hope. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, once symbols of devastation, rose from the ashes. Today they stand as thriving metropolises, their painful histories serving as a reminder of the horrors of nuclear warfare and a call for peace. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki marked not only the end of the war, but also the beginning of a new era of warfare. The world had witnessed the destructive power of nuclear weapons, and the effects of that fateful decision in 1945 are still felt today. The shadows of Hiroshima and Nagasaki still loom large, a stark reminder of the destructive power humanity wields. In the wake of the bombings, the world was forever changed. The immense power of nuclear weapons was on full display, a power that could not be unseen. This revelation sparked a new era of global tension and competition, known as the Cold War, as nations scrambled to arm themselves with this formidable weapon. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged as superpowers, locked in an intense rivalry. The nuclear arms race was on. Each superpower amassed an arsenal of nuclear weapons, a balance of terror that kept the world on the brink of annihilation. The concept of mutually assured destruction, or MAD, became a chilling reality. But it wasn't just about military power. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki also triggered a moral and ethical debate that continues to this day. Was the use of atomic bombs necessary to end World War II? Could the loss of over 200,000 lives be justified? These are questions that still echo in our collective consciousness. Some argue that the bombings hastened the end of the war, potentially saving millions of lives that would have been lost in a prolonged conflict. Others contend that the use of such devastating weapons on civilian populations was a gross violation of humanitarian principles. This debate, is a stark reminder of the ethical complexities inherent in warfare and the use of powerful technologies. Yet, amidst this debate, an essential lesson emerged from the ashes of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's a lesson about the power we wield and the responsibility that comes with it. As we've seen, humanity possesses the power to create and the power to destroy on an unprecedented scale. The legacy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki is not just one of destruction, but also of caution. It serves as a reminder of the horrors of nuclear warfare, urging us to consider the consequences of our actions and the value of peace. As we remember Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we are reminded of a profound truth. With great power comes great responsibility, and the power to destroy demands the wisdom to restrain.